Hey guys, Ian here from Mid-America Breath. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and today I've got a quick review of a product I've been wanting to look at for a while on camera, but I haven't had any time to get out to the woods to use it like I wanted to. But in light of that, go to a channel of a YouTuber that I watch all the time, Hoshnasi, H-O-S-H-N-A-S-I, and subscribe to his channel. I'll link his channel below. I like watching his channel. He does a daily vlog of his life. He lives out in California, so watching his life is kind of a different perspective when you live here in the Midwest. I live in Kansas, and so everything's much different than out there. And I like looking at how he lives life in the Patriots lifestyle, more or less. You know, he's living life like I do, but in a much more, restricted aspect. And so he doesn't know that, but I'm sure he does. But he's living in California, where he's a Second Amendment gun guy. But out there, the Second Amendment is very masked. You know, they're everywhere. Gun owners are everywhere, but they are so restricted that they almost can't talk about it without being shamed upon. And so, I like watching his channel. But anyways, this product is something that my father-in-law actually purchased many years ago. He bought into the company when it was like a Kickstarter type project. And after that, he went ahead and purchased one, and purchased it very cheap, and before it was in the store shelves, which is really cool. And if you see this box, you may know what that is. This is, yes, the BioLite. And I have proof that he purchased it. This has not been opened yet. The tape has been cracked, but it has not been opened yet. This box, or this product here, the BioLite, in this box has not been touched. It was purchased 3 years ago, and it actually got shipped 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now. And I'll show you the date on the barcode. But when they did this product, when they started the product, they did some kind of like Kickstarter type product or video and stuff, where it's like you buy this much and you get the first one at this cost, or whatever it was. I can't remember what the cost was. I think it was like 20 bucks to buy in, and then you got it for like 20 bucks. And so he got it for an extremely cheap price. And in 2013, he loaned it to me to review, and I never got it to him. He sadly passed away in 2014, and within that time, between 2013 and now, I haven't had any time to review it. And so I'll show you this right quick. I'm not going to show you the address by any means, but see if I can get this here without showing anything really crazy. You can see that the shipping date right there on the left side is June 4th, 2012. And that's when he got it shipped to him. And so I went ahead and I took it, and I mean, the packing label is still here, so I'm not going to let you see any of that. The address isn't even relevant anymore, really. So, not a big deal, but I will go ahead and we'll review it. Okay, so the instructions in this box state that the BioLite does not use any anything that's a gel or any kind of liquid or anything like that, plastic or not. So it says right there, no, the stove is intended for to burn solid biomass only, and never add liquids, gels, plastics, or other accelerants to the stove, because obviously it can damage the battery and everything. The gel and everything can damage the inside. So we're not going to use any kind of gel starter or anything that I usually would. We'll just use fire, and let's use some wood. And so I guess I got my hatchet here, and we can just get some little pieces broke off and started here. Let's see here. We'll break it down just a little bit into smaller pieces. A little kindling. You know what? I have all this already made up, so we'll go ahead and use that. This is what I made it for anyways. The big thing is you really want to keep it at 6 inches or lower, so it falls in there and can really get the fire going, because this is made for a cook stop, and nowadays they actually do make the little pans and the boilers and all kinds of stuff to put on the top of this. And so You can actually cook your food on a BioLite branded cook stove, like a stove top thing, or the boiler or whatnot. So I'm just going to use a regular old cheap pan that we have around here for camping with some water in it. We can show you that it boils. So keep everything you want lit or in here 6 inches or so it all falls in there and it lights very well. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out with something that's actually kind of light. And the bad thing about this is that you do need a light source, a cooking source or a fire source, geez, to get it going. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to slide in there, and I'll show you what the inside looks like after a while. I'm going to get a couple of these going. Now this is just some white pine board that I've actually had laying around for tinder for reasons. Because it does light very well, and you can do this with it. This is where I start my little fire with to cook in the what do you call it, cast iron and stuff. This is where I start that with on my charcoals. And so as you can see there, it is starting, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. We're just going to go ahead and hit the power button on the low because it has kind of a reserve battery. And it's going to start a vortex in there. Okay, see that vortex there? And it doesn't take very much to get the flame really going really well. And so we're just going to keep on, get all the tape off there. You don't want any sticky tape on there. And soon enough, the orange light, once it gets enough heat to it, conducting through, will turn green, and you can actually push this again, and it'll turn the fan on high, because this will actually really cook that wood up really fast. You're just going to continuously add wood and really get it going. You may even need to, by the time that happens, actually chop up some more wood. But since I'm actually in the city, all the trees around me here are trimmed back pretty well, so there's no limbs laying down that I could actually, spare right now. My landlord has actually came by and picked them all up. I'm just going to chop some of these in smaller pieces. There we go. It takes no heat to really get it going. Now you can hear it on high. And you can see the green light is on. And we're just going to get it really roaring through there. And it's kind of a smokeless type thing. I mean, it's going to smoke. As you can see, it's smoking. When it's smoking, you can really get it going. There we go. And obviously, a water source nearby would be great for you too, if you're not in the area to have an open fire. And we'll scoot this back and we can watch it. Alright, And once it gets really cooked down and going well, I'm going to put some more wood into it, and I will get the pan with water, and I'll show you what it looks like boiling water. Okay, so I had to start over. I had to go in for dinner, you know. Wife calls for dinner, you go in for dinner, right? Anyways, had a guy creeping on me. He sat over this direction of my filming area for about 30 minutes watching the giant 3-foot flame pour out of this thing. And I don't know if he was as curious, like he never came over to talk to me, but he must have wanted to know what it was. I mean, come on people, I'm over here filming, you can come over and talk as long as you're quiet. So if you're a local supporter of the channel, come on over and we'll talk and discuss what you're talking about, or what we're doing here if you connect the two, you know, me videoing and you watching. Anyways, I'm going to get a fire going again. We'll go ahead and try to get this pan of water, and it's got water in there, try to get it going, boiling and everything. We'll charge the phone. It is on green right now, so it has been charged to quality enough. Once it really gets going and gets nice and warm, this will stay green the whole time instead of going to orange. It does work very, very well. Charging the phone, my phone when I plugged it in went from 20% to 50% in about 30 minutes or so. So it's not a whole lot of charging power, but if something's dead, if you want to get from dead to 20 or 30%, you know, relatively fast, it'll work. You definitely have to feed it constantly to keep it going. It's nothing that's going to go over a couple of minutes. There, you know, it just died on green, so it's going to have to take a little bit to charge back up. So the battery really could be charged from the wall port, or from like the 120 USB charger, if you wanted it to be, but it's not going to stay that way unless you keep it charged. So make sure we get it going. It's not really keeping a flame going yet. It must be blocked in there. We'll get a good flame going on. It's just really smoking a lot. There we go. And we'll just keep these sticks out of there until the flame is going. It's just really getting smoke signals now. I know I don't have any time lapse going on. I don't have time for a time lapse. I could use my phone for the time lapse, but I really don't have that technology. My iPhone has time lapse, but that's not the greatest thing to use because I need my phone on the side for pictures and whatnot. Let's see if I can take some of these hot ones out. It's definitely wanting to smoke more than do anything else. I'm trying to blow over the camera and everything. Get a there we go. We'll get a flame going from the top. There we go. Now it's going to start flaming up. Really start cooking like it was earlier. There was about 1.5 inches of embers that were down here, and it would quit burning, and it would just blow heat up. And by that time, I threw some fresh wood in there. It would catch right back on fire. But you know, all I had over there for the first run, that was all that was on the bottom, was that little bit of ashy charcoal stuff right there that was burning. And with, I mean, that's a very, very small pile of stuff, and that was keeping the embers going and the heat roaring, and that way I could continually add stuff to it. It was kind of keeping, you know, kind of like a fire on the bottom, and the air was going over top of it, kind of keeping it burning on the bottom, but not really burning it out, so you can continually add wood. And it appears now that the battery is running out because there's not enough heat on it. So that's why you want to keep it on low and keep the embers going. It keeps on turning off the vortex, basically. It will work, definitely. It does charge as it phones, and like I said, it does want to get water boiling. You just have to keep the heat going. If you're going to cook on a pan, I would definitely make sure it's preheated with the embers and stuff, and then take the pan off, get your oil or whatever going, and then from there, get your fire built back up, make sure your pan is still warm, and then light it back on fire, you know, get your stuff, keep on, you know, lit, keep it lit. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And it'll definitely keep going, and it burns very, very fast. That whole little stack of wood I had, I did actually burn all that up, and this is all I have left of that, now probably 6 by 10 piece of 3/4 inch pine board. And so this stuff is not going to burn. It's not fat wood. I mean, it does burn, but it goes very fast. It's not going to do a slow fat wood type burn, and go slow. Now, obviously, if you're in the wilderness, twigs and other sticks are very well around, and you're not going to be in lieu of anything. I do have a tree back here in the background, which I could probably go break some stuff off. It's dead. It's been dead for a while, and especially what leaves were on it left got burned or blown off last night in the crazy storm we had, which came through about 50 or 60 mile-an-hour winds, and poured down rain for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now, one thing you want to keep note on with this is that this definitely cannot be really used in the moisture. I mean, it can be used in the snow and stuff, but on top of a drier surface, but you don't want any rain or anything to be getting on it or in it, because obviously it'll put your fire out and it can hurt the battery. I'm sure it's some kind of like lithium battery or whatnot. I'm not going to read into it right now, but it, you know, for the most part, it works very well. It contains the fire. You don't have any. I mean, it burns hot enough that you don't have to worry about any embers really flying out. I know you see some embers flying out, but as you can see here now, this is now green because it's charged. And one simple little push of the button will get it going really well, and it'll burn this little pile of wood in there very, very fast. So I will get this little stack of wood here within the fire and burning, and then I will throw the pot of water on, and we can watch it cook, boil up. I'm just going to add some more wood to it. Really get that fire going. Okay guys, so we got a really good fire going underneath there. It really just burned up. As you see there, the water is boiling. And it's going down. That pan is extremely warm. But yeah, it's working like it should. And that'll be it. So for the review itself, I think this is really going to work very well. Obviously in the prepping scenario where your electronic, like your grid is down, like your electric grid is down, to make electricity, besides your vehicle, you know, like a converter or a generator or something like that. But economically wise, to make electricity, you're going to have a lot of wood to be needed. Because I've literally used all my wood up. That's literally, I mean, not really literally, but I have all this left, and it's already done boiling since I kicked the camera on. The fire is already burnt out on top, and you can see it in there. The big thing that I would change is I would make a little bit of a cutout so the flame can come in and out, but I would also make it so you can put twigs in without taking the pan off, which I'm sure you can, like so. I'm sure you could do that, but I don't want to do that with, you know, 100 little sticks without, you know, removing the pan itself. So great. I'm going to keep this charging up. I'm going to burn the rest of this wood off camera, and we'll go from there. But until then, this is Ian from Mid-America Prep. You guys be safe. Have a good day. See you later.